Hello again, lovely ones. It is part 3 of our mini weavers workshop today. So today we're going to do some storytelling weave. So if you've done part 1 and part 2, we're actually going to combine a little bit of each to create part 3. So for our storytelling weave, we're going to need to make a frame, just like we did in part 1. So you'll need some cardboard. Thicker cardboard works best. Shoebox, even cereal boxes, any type of thicker cardboard will work well. You'll need a pen, a ruler, some scissors and some string. So first of all, you're going to want to cut a piece of cardboard to create the frame the size that you want. Next, we are going to mark along the top and along the bottom every 1 centimetre. Now, just like in the first video, we're going to cut down about 1 centimetre on each of those marks that we've made. Okay, so now we're ready to warp up our frame. So just as we did in part 1, take your string and pop it through that very first slot that you've made, and then just tape it on the back. All right, now that it's in that first slot, we're going to follow it all the way down to that first slot on the bottom, and then come in that second slot there and bring it up to the second slot up the top, just as we did in the first video. So you're going from the top to the bottom until you're at the end of your card. Okay, once you're at the end, just chop off that bit of string and tape it to the back there. Thank you, darling. We're ready to go. Now that we're all warped up, it's time to go on our adventure. So the idea with a storytelling weave is that you take yourself on a little walk, whether it be in your backyard or to the park or around your neighbourhood, and anything that you see and anything that you walk across, if you can take a little bit, again on the ground, fallen items is best, and make sure you thank Mother Nature for borrowing her beauty.
That's a lot. Inside it's orange and outside is brown. It's a lovely place.
That's a good one to weave.
It's pretty. Come now. Oh.
Okay, now that we've been on our walk, it's time to recreate our adventure with our loom. So Betty and I first walked through some grass. So I'm going to pop the grass all at the bottom. And you just fold it in wherever you can. Loop it under one warp thread or under a few warp threads, anything to just create a story picture. Next, Betty found some purple flowers that she liked, so I'm going to pop those on top of the grass. You can do tabby weave here or just poke them in, however they'll sit, layering them up as you did in the previous weaves. And pushing them to the bottom. Next, Betty found a really big leaf that she really loved, so we're going to pop that on top of the purple flowers. We kept walking further and we were walking through all these dried autumn leaves that were going crunch, crunch, crunch as we walked through. So I'm going to poke those in to create the crunching layer of our adventure. Yes, darling. Oh, thanks, sweet pea. There we go. Crunch, crunch, crunch through the dried leaves. We walked a bit further and we found some gum trees that had big, beautiful leaves that they dropped on the ground. Now this one we're going to do a tabby weave with the stalk just to hold it in place because it's a little bit heavier than all the other items that I've popped in. And pull it through until you have it in place. Okay, let's look at our story so far. So, Betty and I went for a walk. We walked over the grass. We found some beautiful purple flowers that we thought we would take with us. And then Betty found a big leaf that she loved. And then we walked a bit further and went crunch, crunch, crunch through the dried leaves into the paddock, where we saw a huge gum tree and all these beautiful gum leaves. Next to the gum leaves on the ground were these beautiful gum nuts. So we're going to pop some of those in our story as well. And we're just doing tabby weave through the middle here with any of the bigger branches that need a little bit more help to stay in place. once we walked on from the gum trees and the gum nuts, we found a big tree that had fallen down. So Betty walked along the tree and we found some beautiful bark that had peeled off the tree. Look how lovely that is. So we're going to pop that in our story too. You're peeking. Next to the big beautiful tree with the lovely bark, there was a fern. This is a fern. Yeah. It's a type of plant, right? And then on the way back to home, we found these dried leaves. So we're going to add those in too.
I'm going to put them in too.
Oh, sweetheart, you liked them.
Yeah, what is going on? Did I found them as well?
You did find them, darling.
Find the leaves.
Yeah.
Did I found the brown leaf?
You did. Thanks, bye.